Welcome to Teaching Reading Strategies, Training Module 3, Sam and Friends Phonics Books. The purpose of this training module is to teach you how to use the Sam and Friends Phonics books in conjunction with the Teaching Reading Strategies program. The 54 Sam and Friends Phonics books have been designed to reinforce the systematic and explicit phonics lessons in the Teaching Reading Strategies program. These 8-page books are ideal for remedial readers. Students practice all the common sound spelling patterns and sight words in these take-home books. Plus, students will improve reading comprehension and reading fluency with the SCRIP comprehension strategy questions and the 30-second word fluencies included in each book. The Sam and Friends Phonics books are digital files to allow you to copy and print unlimited amounts of these 8-page books for your students year after year. The Sam and Friends Phonics books have been organized into 6 collections to follow the sound-by-sound spelling blending instructional sequence. In other words, students learn the focused sound spellings in the morning during class and practice them in the corresponding Sam and Friends Phonics books for homework. 3 sound-by-sound spelling blending lessons are taught on the first 3 days of the week, and 3 Sam and Friends Phonics books are assigned to reinforce the learning. Students reread out loud the 3 books for homework on the Thursday and/or Friday of that week. Students of all ages will enjoy reading about the adventures of Sam and his friends, Tom, Kit, and Deb, and also Sam's dog, Pug. The characters are multi-ethnic and the stories focus on life outside of school. Older readers will especially enjoy the teenage characters and plots. Plots reinforce positive values and character development. Each book is cleverly illustrated by master cartoonist David Rickert. The cartoons are specifically designed to be appreciated by older remedial reading students. Your students will not feel like they're reading primary age characters and stories with the Sam and Friends Phonics books. The books consist of highly decodable and systematic text to help readers learn, practice, and develop reliance upon the alphabetic code. Decodable means that a high percentage of words will be phonetically regular. Systematic means that each reader includes and reinforces only previously introduced sound spellings to scaffold instruction. Each book introduces 2 high-utility sight words, that is, phonetically irregular words. The language de-emphasizes idiomatic expressions, which is ideal for English language learners. The stories use non-predictable, non-repetitious, and non-patterned language to minimize over-reliance upon context clues and knowledge of text structure. In other words, students have to read the text to understand the stories. The SCRIP comprehension strategies, summarize, connect, rethink, interpret, and predict, are embedded within the text pages, not at the end of the book, to promote reader-author conversations and internal monitoring of the text. Many require higher-order thinking skills. The books include 5 comprehension questions for each story. The back page of each book introduces the sound spellings and sight words. The back page also includes 30-second word fluency practice on the focused sound spellings and sight words with a systematic review of previously introduced sound spellings and sight words. Each book consists of 8 pages in 5.5 by 8.5 inch booklet form. Books are formatted to be copied back-to-back on 2 separate 8.5 by 11 pages for easy copying and collation. Just one fold creates the take-home books. Staple if desired. Prior to using the Sam and Friends Phonics books, pre-teach the SCRIP comprehension strategies to your students, parents, and partners. The books include 5 comprehension questions for each story, that is, 1 for each of the SCRIP strategies. The SCRIP comprehension strategies have been designed to work as self-monitoring prompts to promote the author-reader dialogue. Each strategy applies to both expository and narrative text. Use the following language of instruction found in the introductory pages of the Sam and Friends Phonics books to define and explain each of these 5 SCRIP reading strategies. Post the SCRIP comprehension posters found in the appendix and reference these as you teach. Summarize means to put together the main ideas and important details of a reading into a short version of what the author has said. A summary can be an entire reading, but it is more useful to summarize more than once at key transition points in the author's train of thought. It frequently requires the reader to skim that part of the reading once more. Connect means to notice the relationship between one part of the text and another part of the text. Connect also means to examine the relationship between one part of the text and something outside of the text. Additionally, connect means to see the relationship between one part of the text and your own personal experience. You may have had a similar experience in your own life to that described in the text. Rethink means to reread the text when you're confused or have lost the author's train of thought. Reviewing what has just been read will improve understanding. You may even understand what the author has said in a different way than how you understood that section the first time reading it. Interpret means to focus on what the author means. Authors may directly say what they mean right in the lines of the text, but they also may suggest what they mean with hints to allow readers to draw their own conclusions. These hints can be found in the tone, that is the feeling or attitude of the writing, the word choice, or in other parts of the writing in which the idea may be more directly stated. Predict means to make an educated guess about what will happen or be said next in the text. A good prediction uses the clues presented in the reading to make a logical guess that does make sense. Good readers check their predictions with what actually happens or is said next. Since the Sam & Friends Phonics books are designed primarily as homework, it is critically important to train parents, partners, and students to learn how to use these books. Ideally, a brief training meeting would best facilitate this end. As an alternative, the teacher can send the following instructions found in the introductory pages of the Sam & Friends Phonics book as an email attachment. Stress how important it is to read the book on the day assigned in order to reinforce the sound spellings learned in class that very day. How to use the Sam & Friends Phonics books. Number 1, read the assigned Sam & Friends Phonics book with your child or partner on the day schedule. Again, each book reinforces the lesson learned that day in class. To begin instruction, first turn to the back page of the book. Introduce each of the sounds, spellings, and sight words listed at the top of the back page and have the student repeat the proper pronunciations. Number 3. Have the student read the entire book out loud for proper pronunciation. Tell the student to paste the reading with his or her hand underneath the words. The first reading of the Sam & Friends Phonics books should require the reader to sound out all of the decodable words and automatically recognize the sight words. Help the student sound out phonetically regular words, but not the sight words, and point to the cartoon when it is relevant to the plot. Number 4. Have the student reread the entire book out loud, this time for comprehension. The second reading should require the student to really understand the story. The reader reads the story until the SCRIP comprehension strategy question and then stops. The parent or partner should read the question to the student and help the reader discuss possible answers. Continue reading and discussion page by page. Don't worry about interrupting the flow of the story. The goal is good comprehension. Reference both text and illustration in discussing the questions. Number 5. Have the student reread the entire book out loud for fluency. This is the third reading. Prompt the reader to read quickly and pay careful attention to punctuation and voice modulation. Reading along with the reader at a pace slightly faster than previous reads is helpful. Avoid looking at the illustrations during this step. Number 6. Turn to the back page once more and have students read the word fluency words on the back page from left to right. Once students have read all words accurately, tell them that you are going to time how many of the words they can read in 30 seconds. Encourage students to read quickly and accurately. Time the reading and count the number of words read accurately in 30 seconds and record in the spaces provided. Retest until the reader has gained automaticity. Number 7. 3 Sam and Friends phonics books are assigned the first 3 days of each week. Have the student reread all 3 books out loud on Thursday and/or Friday. Here are a few technical notes on the Sam and Friends phonics books that may be of interest. The stories are formatted using the Mooley font. Developed by Vernon Adams, Mooley is a minimalist sans serif font which nicely mimics handwritten manuscript letter formation. In other words, students will read and write with the same basic letter formation. Paragraphing is introduced in story number 7. Take time to explain that a paragraph organizes around an idea, section of a story, a speaker dialogue, or that a new paragraph signals change. Also note that the font size is reduced beginning in collection D and once again in collection E to reflect maturity of reading. Multisyllabic words are introduced in story number 30, and the space between lines is reduced in collection F. Your students will love the Sam and Friends phonics books and wish to read them over and over again.